Hello everyone, Bashar here. We are together with news from Raid. So, as you might have seen, hard mode dungeons have been announced and they have complete different tactics. For example, the ice golem will be immune to poison, the dragon will be poisoning us, Fire Knight will be immune to turn meter reduction effects, and Spider will be getting healed from HP burn effect. So we will have to apply different tactics, but they will all they have their own new weaknesses. For example, whenever you try to freeze the Fire Knight, he will lose 15% of his turn meter and so on. So that's coming, and I think that's coming pretty soon. And for to allow us to prepare a little, they brought 100% gear removal cost, which is very good, right? I mean, you might have some champions that you have geared in the past, and you can save a lot of silver. Let me show you, for example. I mean, was so this guy has very old gear, right? I mean, as you can see from the amount of 5 stars, so I can just take these off and don't pay any silver for it, so it's a good time. Or I have my Chronum not built in a very good way. I mean, I built them too offensively, and I can build them a little more defensively and use him in the Sand Devil and so on. So I mean, whatever we want to remove is just free for 3 days, and it has started several hours ago, so we have more than 2.5 days, guys. So that's one of the news. The other news is we are getting drop fever events, very short drop fever events though. So tomorrow they will launch a pack, hard mode string pack. It's a string pack. I mean, there will be several offers, and the last offer will be very sweet, and generally the previous offers are not very sweet, but I am hopeful that it could be good because of the special thing. So first off, we have 3 days of accessory and artifact removal, aka gear removal, for free, which is big, right? The last occasion we had of this was at the turn of the year, and I have not seen it before. I mean, I've been playing for about 7.5 months, and I haven't seen it any other time. I mean, I have seen several times 50% cost reduction and 100% gear reduction is rare though. And after we have tomorrow triple chance of Stalwart from Dragon's Lair. I mean, I don't know if this is meaningful. I mean, Stalwart is not a bad set, but I don't think it deserves being a 4-piece set, right? I would rather have it if it was a 2-piece set, providing half the bonus. Because, I mean, it prevents you from wearing 4-piece sets. It's not very good. I mean, up until now, I have equipped 0 champions with Stalwart gear. So, I mean, this will not speak to me, so to speak. And then we will have, right after it, by the way, we will have triple reflex from Ice Golem's Peak. I mean, this is one of the best sets in the entire game, so this is well worth it. But I'd like to mention that I have 0 champions with reflex artifact equip as well. But it's a very late game set. It's one of the best sets, but I mean, you can't do it early, right? You can't go Kale with reflex set, so you can sometimes that is A2 is not very worth it. It's required for Geo, Brogni, Krisk, and so on. So I am hoping to use my first reflex set sometime. And finally, we have the best thing. We have triple chance of Savage from Finance Castle. This is insane, of course. I mean, we all have to go for it. Savage is a very good, I mean, one of the best sets in the entire game for PvP, and it is also useful in PvE as well for nukers. Could be very nice in Hard Doom Tower, where they have around 10,000 defense. So these are lasting only 12 hours each, And sadly, this doesn't overlap with the Far Night tournament. Let's see. It does. It doesn't, right? One day, 19 hours. And one day, 19 hours. So we are on the 8th now. So 11 p.m. 11 a.m. on the 10th. Oh my God. I mean, why do they do this, guys? I mean, this is a little, right? I mean, if I didn't miscalculate, the Far Night tournament will end, and 1 hour after it ends, we will get the triple. I mean, you could make them overlap, right? So we can receive some additional value from the Far Night tournament, whatever. And as I said, tomorrow they will release the hard mode string pack. We'll see how it goes. And right now we also have another event that's active. I mean, I don't see it here because I have done it. So we have get one legendary and get another for free from Sacred Shards right now, which is very nice. But I will remind you that we are getting double chance of summoning legendary champions from Sacred Shards in 2 days. So the only way you should be going for this is you should be in Mercy and you should have a lot of Sacred Shards. So let's say if you recently opened the legendary and you have 4 Sacred Shards, don't even touch it. I mean, I know the prospect of getting double legendaries at once is awesome, but the thing is, guys, it is not very likely that you get it, and the fusion is coming, which is the next thing I'm going to talk about. And I believe the champion chase that we are getting on Friday is a part of the fusion. I mean, I'm not 100% sure, but the fusion warm-up event's timing looks like it is. So as I said, in 2 days we will be getting the double chance on legendaries on Sacred Shards, and that coincides well with the fusion warm-up event. So there's a good chance that fusion chase will also be part of the Supreme Elhain fusion, which is what we'll look at next. So for myself, I can give you my stats. I have been 1 in Mercy, so I have opened 13 Sacred Shards without a legendary, and I had 12 Sacred Shards. So I thought I could bear to open like 6, and in the worst case 8 Sacred Shards till I get the legendary. And as you can tell, I opened 4 of them, and it gave me a second Dracomorph, which is my first legendary faction guard ever, and the King Garog, I believe that was his name, a PvP oriented orc champion. So that's what it was for me. And as I said, on Friday we will be getting double chance of legendaries on Sacred Shards. And last but not least, we have, as you can tell from here, we have the Supreme Elhain fusion coming. So let me put it up here. Yeah. So this is her. This is Supreme Elhain. And so it's a void legendary, guys. So and I have been playing for 7.5 months, and I have 4 void legendaries. One of them is Arbiter, as you can guess from the missions. One of them is Mitrala from Hydra, and 2 of them are from Shards. And I recently finished Yakarl. I will have to summon him, so that was my 5th void legendary, and it looks like Supreme Elhain will be my 6th void legendary. So what I'm trying to say is the game doesn't really throw many legendaries at you, let alone void legendaries, right? So I'm sure there are some people out there that will think of skipping this, but if you can do it, I mean, if you are close, I would definitely advise you to get it, because I mean, she doesn't look that great, but we don't know the multipliers yet, right? If the multipliers are good, she can be good. I mean, she's a nuker, she's a PvP nuker for sure. Let's first go through the abilities, and then I will talk about the fusion. So what does she do? First off, her A1 ability is attacks one enemy twice, and each hit transfers a debuff from this champion to that one. I mean, and this is one of those abilities where you pray the book doesn't upgrade, right? We have Let None Live next. It's on a 3-turn cooldown when booked. Attacks all enemies. Damage increases by 10% for each debuff on the target. Resets the cooldown of Crack Shot skill if this attack kills an enemy. Maybe combo with Calvalax, I guess. I mean, it would be nice, right? 40% increased damage. And finally, we have Crack Shot on a 4-turn cooldown. Attacks one enemy, will ignore ally protection, strengthen and shield buffs. Wow. Anti-Necret technology, right? Because this is Necret. He does all of these. And so she can be used as a champion to counter Necret, I guess. I mean, if you see Necret on the opposing team, you can just put her in and nuke that Necret protected guy and just kill him easy. And also grants an extra turn, which is great, right? Because you know, Necret protected targets are generally squishy and they survive because of Necret protecting them. And she has a passive. She is immune to decreased attack debuffs, and she inflicts 20% more damage to targets who have a lower amount of attack. So, I mean, this can be dodgy because, guys, generally you want to nuke the target under Necret protection, and the target under Necret protection is generally a nuker, right? And there are not too many non-attack nukers. I mean, there's Magnar, there's Staltus, etc. But I mean, generally they are attack nukers, so there is a chance that you might not have higher attack. That is a problem. But you can find a defense-based champion or an HP-based champion, and then you can inflict the 20% more damage. And her aura is 30% attack. Same with Rondas and Nishaks, 30% attack in all battles. I mean, she's not very great. I'll give you that, but I'm against skipping, because the thing is, guys, as I said, legendaries don't really grow on trees, and void legendaries much less so. My case in point is that you normally generally do like 70%, 75% of the work that's required from you for a fusion already by just playing the game, right? For example, let's say a dragon tournament comes, right? You generally do that dragon tournament. You do the ice golem tournament, you do the fire knight tournament, you do the spider tournament, you do the arena tournaments, right? I mean, the only places where you will have to invest extra is the summon rush, which requires saving of some shards, and maybe some dungeon divers can require an additional amount of energy, I think Supreme Elhain will be a fragment summon type, so you won't really need to invest the additional energy required by normal fusions. And she can be saved to be used in a clan versus clan or in a champion chase event for additional 30k or 500 points respectively. There's also that. I mean, that's a valuable resource. And what I'm saying is, people think, I mean, I have to do all these to get this champion. If you look at from that perspective, that's correct. But the thing is, what I'm saying is, I mean, you are already going to do those dungeon events, those arena tournaments, etc., right? And that champion training event or tournament, whatever it is. So the extra that you will have to do is very little, and especially so during fragment summon events. So, and I say a void legendary is worth that much effort. And guys, the thing is, if you are actually a high level PvPer, this is good for you, right? Why? Because Necret is very common in the higher ranks of tag team arena and normal arena, and having a nice champion to counter him, because this is full counter, because that is Necret's survival kit. I have him, so I know. So ally protection, strength, and shield is what he does. And if you ignore all of these, you'll just kill the guy, because I mean he will have like 30k HP, 2k defense or something, and boom, and then additional turn, and then you nuke with that non-live. It's nice, so I would say it's worth going for. Do we have any other sort of news? I don't think so. Yeah, we talked about the extra legendary. So because the fusion is coming, guys, be very careful with the additional sacred stuff, because I mean if you go all in, and even if you succeed, then you will be making your life much harder to get the fusion done. You have to high roll quite a bit. Imagine I opened all of these now and I have 0 sacreds, and in 2 days we got the champion chase coming, and I will be expected to score a lot in that champion chase, right? And champion chase, I mean, you can micromanage with relic keeper fusion and maybe broadmoor fusion if you have those, but with summon rush there's no managing. I mean, the best you can do is open some mystery shards and get some additional points, but I mean you can't go 1000 points above what you are about to do. So be careful when opening your sacred shards. Don't be a victim of greed. And I think I'll see you later on stream. Bye bye.